was born in Hyderabad, India, lived there for a couple of years, then went with the family for a brief period to Nigeria. In 1998, our family moved to Geneva, Switzerland, when I was only 7. My first day in Switzerland, I went to play outside in the park in front of our house. There were other kids from the neighborhood. I immediately felt loved, as everyone told me, I love you, I love you. Then I quickly realized that this was the only sentence they knew in English. One big advantage when you're born and raised in Hyderabad is that you learn 3 languages: Telugu, English, and Hindi. Unfortunately, French was not part of it. To make friends, it was easy. I just had to learn French as soon as possible. This was baptism by fire. The first time I was truly forced out of my comfort zone. I learned the language in 6 months. Then life took its course. I did my entire schooling in Geneva. I was not too bad at math, so I enrolled in engineering school at the well-known EPFL, École Polytechnique Fédérale de Lausanne. Engineering school was, for me, engineering school. During my bachelor's, my daily routine was more or less wake up, go to class, work, meet friends or watch TV, eat, watch TV, sleep, and start again. I was pretty happy. Life was great. Now, let me tell you the story of the frog in the well that my dad always used to tell me when I was a kid. A frog was happily living inside a well. Let's call it the well frog. One day, a frog from the ocean, let's call it the ocean frog, came to the well and met the frog who was already there. The well frog asked, "Where do you come from?" The ocean frog replied, "I come from the ocean." "Is it big?" asked the well frog. "Yes," replied the ocean frog. The well frog jumped 1/4 of the well and asked, "Is it this big?" The ocean frog laughed and said, No. The well frog jumped half of the well and asked, "Is it that big?" Again, the ocean frog said, No. Then the well frog jumped the whole well, the whole length, and then said, "Now you cannot say no. How could anything be bigger than the well where I live?" The ocean frog said, "I don't want to be offensive, but the ocean is still bigger." Then the well frog said, "Get out of here, you liar. Nothing can be bigger than this well." This story has taught me one thing. You can be perfectly happy with your life in the well, but you could also discover the ocean. So at the end of my bachelor's, I remembered this tale. I was the frog in the well. I was in my comfort zone. I had that luxury. The comfort zone is defined as a situation in which you feel comfortable and in which your ability and determination are not being tested. I had to get out of it, or else life would start to become routine and eventually bland. In this comfort zone, inertia is very strong. As you might know, in physics, inertia is a physical force that keeps something in the same position or moving in the same direction. In other words, the tendency not to change what is happening. You know, that amazing feeling when you're on your couch and you don't want to get out? I love that. I love that feeling. And I do it often. But sometimes you got to get out of the couch. During my bachelor's, I was really happy, but I was not passionate with what I was doing. I needed to get out of my comfort zone and discover the ocean. So after I finished my bachelor's with mediocre grades, I started my master's, an opportunity to start fresh. This time, I wanted to change my bland routine, but the question was how? One idea I had was to join a student organization. There were many of them at my university. The next question was, which one? In order to get out of my well, I was looking for a club with values and goals aligning with mine. I have always known in my life that I wanted to work towards improving the quality of life of the less fortunate. This is how I discovered Ingénieurs du Monde, or IDM, which is loosely equivalent to Engineers Without Borders. Its role is to raise awareness about the Sustainable Development Goals and offer internships for EP engineering students who want to work toward these goals. When I joined this club, I had no expectations whatsoever. I didn't know anyone there. I needed to start getting out of my comfort zone again. I started to say yes to many things and expected nothing in return. Things as simple as shopping for a post-conference aperitif or sticking posters in the campus. During my time there, I met a lot of amazing people. They were all students like me. However, they had all excellent grades and were doing many other things besides studying, unlike me. Then I told myself, why can't I be more like them? I took more and more diversified tasks and continued saying yes because I was truly involved and was getting passionate about different projects. Soon, I became president of that club, which gave me exposure to lots of interesting projects. One very special opportunity for me was to work with a research center of EPFL called Essential Tech, and whose mission is to innovate for sustainable development in humanitarian sector. This was exactly aligned with my goals in life, with what I wanted to do. No time to overthink, I was starting an internship with Ingénieur du Monde and Essential Tech in Cameroon. This was a bit of an off-the-beaten-path choice, considering most of my batchmates did theirs in more established settings, such as big companies. I spent 2 months analyzing the quality of electricity at different hospitals and research solutions to try to improve it. This stint in Cameroon led to getting projects with the ICRC and WHO as an energy engineer. So now the project with the WHO was finishing up, and as a fresh graduate from university, the question came up, what do I do in life? No idea. I knew one thing. I have a degree from a good university, and I want to use my skills to help the less fortunate. By the way, if you ask me today where I see myself in 10 years, the answer is no clue. At that time, I was lucky to be involved with the Essential Tech Center. They put me in touch with Debbie, the founder of Surgibox, who came from Boston to Lausanne, Switzerland, to present a paper about her brilliant idea. It was still a university project, but they had recently won a very prestigious award, the Harvard's President Challenge. She needed someone to help dynamize the project. As it was still a university project, it was practically unpaid. I had no idea what was coming, but I said yes with no expectations. And for some reason, Debbie put a blind trust in me. In the beginning, I was totally dazzled. Me joining a project from MIT and Harvard felt overwhelming. I had no idea what a startup was, nor how to dynamize one. Actually, I didn't know what anything was for that matter. I was completely lost for several months on what to do. This, again, was completely out of my comfort zone. In the beginning, I had many doubts. Everyone told me, startupping is difficult. What happens if you fail? All these motivating questions. Many of my friends were in big companies and had good salaries, advancing in their careers, while I couldn't boast the same. But I knew that if anything went wrong, my parents were always there to support me. I was lucky to have this safety cushion, and also I had a degree from a prestigious university. One more important thing is that Surgibox is an amazing idea, so I had that confidence to go forward. I went all in, no half measures, no vacillation, dived completely into the venture. The product, the SurgiField kit, is an ultra-portable sterile field that fits in a backpack. It is intended to create a sterile barrier during surgical procedures to isolate the surgical site from other areas of the patient's body and from non-sterile areas from the environment. This opens up the possibility to perform safe surgery anytime, any place. Imagine a scenario after an earthquake or remote areas in the forests of Arunachal Pradesh, where you have flies and dust, or even busy centers like in Mumbai, where traffic accidents might happen. Suddenly, safe surgery is possible at the point of need, so you can do surgery anywhere safely. In the past few years, we evolved from a university project to a corporate company. We raised a couple millions of dollars. We have won multiple international awards and been featured in more than 10 news outlets. We now have a manufactured product with production lines in multiple countries. We have partnership with multiple international stakeholders. We are now about to apply for regulatory approval, which will authorize us to market the product and perform surgeries. This is expected to happen in the coming months. My dream of using my skills to help the less fortunate is moving forward nicely. Small actions, like my decision to join IDM or Ingénieur du Monde during my master's, might not always lead to big things. You will only know after the fact. What is important, in my opinion, is to leave your comfort zone multiple times, and I had the luxury to do that. The well frog on its way to the ocean will be tempted multiple times to get back to its well and never see the ocean. At different steps, the frog needs to resist this temptation and motivate itself to reach the ocean. Getting out of the comfort zone can be really enjoyable. Travel somewhere unknown, meet new people, join an association. Most importantly, when you want to get out of your comfort zone, you should expect nothing in return. So, do you want to discover the ocean? Thank you.